The world can feel overwhelming. Deadlines, news cycles, uncertainty, loss. When it all starts to spiral, it's easy to feel helpless, to feel like life is slipping out of your hands. But what if that feeling of not being in control is exactly what Stoicism prepares us for? For over 2,000 years, Stoic thinkers have offered guidance not just in theory, but in chaos, in exile, in poverty, in illness, in grief. This video is not a motivational speech. It's a conversation, a slow return to what you can control. Because sometimes, when life feels out of control, the wisest thing we can do is stop chasing control altogether. At the heart of Stoicism is a deceptively simple idea. There are two kinds of things in this world: the things you can control and the things you can't. You cannot control what other people think. You cannot control the weather, or a global crisis, or your past. But you can control your actions, your judgments, the way you speak to others, the way you interpret what happens to you. Epictetus, a Stoic who began life as a slave, put it this way: make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. This isn't about giving up. It's about letting go of false responsibility, of imagined control. So what does Stoicism look like in a crisis? Let's take a moment to learn from three different Stoics. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who couldn't escape uncertainty. Marcus wasn't just a philosopher. He ruled Rome during war, plague, and political unrest. He woke up every day to fresh problems he couldn't solve immediately. But he had a practice, journaling his thoughts before the day began, reminding himself, "I am not in charge of events. I am in charge of how I meet them." He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When life felt out of control, he turned inward and wrote his way back to clarity. Epictetus, from chains to freedom. Epictetus lived with a crippled leg and no property of his own. But he taught that freedom is not about external liberty, it's about inner freedom. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So what did he teach students during difficult times? To pause, to observe their thoughts, to respond, not react. Seneca, the Stoic who prepared for loss. Seneca, a wealthy Roman advisor, wrote letters to friends about how to stay calm in a turbulent world. But his own life was anything but calm. He was exiled, falsely accused, forced to die by suicide. Yet he wrote, "A wise person does not grieve more over what is lost than rejoice over what remains." Stoicism gave him balance, even in the face of injustice. When life feels overwhelming, Stoicism doesn't ask us to be perfect. It asks us to return to a few practices that restore calm and courage. Stoic practice number 1, the pause, the gap between event and reaction. Viktor Frankl said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Stoicism lives in that space. Pause. Breathe. Ask, is this something I can control? If not, let it be. Stoic practice number 2. View from above, changing perspective. Imagine zooming out of your current problem, like a satellite floating above your life. What seems urgent becomes small. What seemed permanent becomes temporary. Marcus wrote, "Look down from above, see the triviality of it all." This isn't denial, it's perspective, a Stoic superpower. Stoic practice number 3, negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Picture the worst that could happen. Not to scare yourself, but to prepare. The Stoics practice this as a way to build resilience. What if I lost my job? What if this relationship ended? Ask these not to dwell on fear, but to remind yourself, even then I will carry on. Even then I will choose my response. Stoic practice number 4, daily reflection, evening journaling. Take 5 minutes. Ask, what did I do well today? Where did I lose control? What will I do differently tomorrow? Seneca called this practice the examination of the soul. Stoic practice number 5, voluntary discomfort, building strength on purpose. Practice small hardships to prepare for big ones. Take a cold shower. Skip a luxury. Sit in silence. These moments make you strong, not just physically, but mentally. Epictetus. Difficulties show what men are. So what does this look like in 2025? When you lose your job? When your plans fall apart? When life feels like it's spinning faster than you can hold it? The Stoics remind you, your worth isn't in your title. You still control how you show up. You are not your emotions. You are the observer of them. Try this. Pause before you speak. Ask what virtue applies to this moment. Zoom out. Journal it. Let go of the outcome. Life will always feel out of control, because most of it is. But that's not a reason to panic. It's a reason to return to the center. As Marcus wrote, "Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." You don't need to escape the world. You just need to reclaim your mind. That's the Stoic way. And maybe, in learning to accept what we can't control, we finally discover the strength to master what we can. Subscribe for more timeless guidance from Stoic thinkers. And let me know in the comments, what's one thing you're letting go of today?